guys, it's Ahmer here. So here we are back with another episode in my series where I take you guys along with me as we try and go for a full Super Nintendo set. So I decided to stop off in Tennessee when I was actually traveling to a few different video game stores. So I stopped at Tony's Place. This is a really cool video game store on the smaller side, but it is full and mighty. This is in Kingsport, Tennessee. So if you're ever in that area, you should definitely check it out, as they have movies, games, toys, and a little bit of everything. So we'll just jump into it. We left off with 412 last week, and I can't wait to show you guys what I found this week. So not only does this store have some really cool like Nintendo 64 Fantastic Series consoles in the cases, they had a really awesome complete in box Super Nintendo set with this beautiful variant sticker right on the front. It was so beautiful, but I was just looking for some games right at that time because I had a video game convention to go to. So that was definitely something cool that I really wanted in the collection, but we'll just jump into the first game. This one right here, the Combat Tribes. So this is one of those fighting games, and it's actually a pretty fun one. So this is a part of this whole arcade port. It's a fun beat 'em up, so you can actually jump on the enemy when they are down, which is pretty neat. So instead of like the enemies just like being down and waiting for them to get back up, you can continue on. There are different characters in this game, and they each have their own different moves. So multiple characters have like their own special moves. It's kind of like in the style of an arena. There is a cool elevator level, which I love those because it's like endless enemies coming in. It is an early arcade port on the Super Nintendo, so this was an early style game, but the cutscenes are really good, and even though it is a rather short game, it's still pretty fun and entertaining, and it's kind of difficult. So this is one that you could pick up on the rather cheap side, and hopefully have a good time. Next up, this title right here. I was looking for this Mickey Mouse game. We have The Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse. So this one's actually a fun one. This is kind of like the first in the series. So it does look a little bit early on, and Mickey looks a little bit different than what you would expect in some of the other games. But it is one of those early Disney titles. Now I love how you could go around these different like Disney inspired areas, and you have different costumes for Mickey. So as you progress through, the different costumes have different abilities in the different areas. So it's actually a pretty fun time. This is a slower start of a game, but it is pretty fun as you progress through it. And the music is very fitting with this game. So this is one that I also recommend, as I love all of these Disney games on the Super Nintendo. Feels like they really have like so many different ones. So if you guys are enjoying this content and you love the Super Nintendo, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification so that you never miss out, as we are continuing to go through this entire set of games, trying to complete them and just see what I can find out there. Now on to this game. This is one that I didn't even realize was like multiple in the series. We have Ultima, the False Prophet. So this one I believe is like the 6th in the series, and you pretty much have to like reclaim these different shrines. So you have to explore, investigate. This is one of your Super Nintendo RPGs, and this was actually written in English, so it makes it a little bit easier to understand, and it actually looks pretty entertaining. But once again, the RPG games, especially some of these, they require so much time, and it takes a lot trying to invest in this, and it's something that I'll have to do a little bit more research, is maybe I'll try and start on some of the earlier titles. And then on to this game, we have Magic Sword. This one actually looks pretty interesting, and the character design is pretty neat. So you have this fearless warrior. So you pretty much get to fight through the different monsters. It's of course one of those hack and slash games. You do get a sword, you do have to find different items, and there are like different benefits that each item actually has. And you just go around, look for different hints, and you get a companion in the game. So even though it's like a computer-based companion, it still makes it a little bit different than what you're used to. So this one, I'm excited to try and just play it through, see how it looks, as everything is so beautiful, the different colors, the different level designs, and it seems like there's a lot going on, especially in the backgrounds. So this is one that I'll have to invest a little bit more time into. And then this game, I didn't even know what this was. So this is Excalibur 2097. So once again, I had no idea what type of game I was getting into, but this is one of those story-driven action platformer games. Of course, it continues that whole apocalyptic style. You do have a sword. Now, this is called Sword Maniac in Japan, so that would have given you a little bit more of a clue as to how this goes with this whole entire like boss fights, hack and slash style. It does really hint at that whole 80s action dialogue in the game, so it makes it pretty like out there and a little bit entertaining, and there are like different sword attacks. Now overall, this is something that I was pleasantly surprised to see, as I had no idea what type of game this would even be, and I was pleasantly surprised. So do you guys remember this game right here, and have you even ever heard of it? So overall, just driving through Tennessee and seeing some of the different areas on the way to a video game convention, and then finding Tony's place and not even knowing what to expect with all of the different games that they had, the movies, the toys, and a little bit of everything. And then he even threw in this cool little Pac-Man like trinket. I think it has either like candy or mints or something in there, but it is modeled after like the original arcade. So this is pretty neat and definitely a cool little bonus. So I had a blast going in there, and I was excited to find some Super Nintendo games. And surprisingly, he had a bunch behind the counter in the different showcases, and there were just some like thrown across the entire store. So there's just so much in there, different toys, different boxes of movies, and I just love seeing those bright, fantastic Nintendo 64 consoles and just seeing a little bit of everything. So it was really neat because everywhere that I looked, I saw something a little bit different, and I was super excited to find some games as I was on my way to a video game convention and I didn't know what to expect there. So which game do you prefer out of this lot here? And we started with 412 and we ended with 5 more, so we are 417 Super Nintendo games. So we are just continuing to move along and see how many more I could get to try and complete that 721. So let me know what you guys think about this place. Have you ever been there, and what's your favorite game? Let me know in the comments below, and of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out my other videos and stay tuned for more.